You're safer here than here, Khazars.
So I was really interested to hear that name.
I'll find out for you because her mum will know a lot more because Freddie was just a kid back and
No,
mm,
when you're at school, nothing, you don't remember any of it because it's bullshit. Your subconscious knows that's not true, you know.
mm,
But then when you go leave school and you're finding out for yourself, that's when you start to remember it all because it's the truth. We know the truth when we hear it. Yeah.
mm.
So yeah. And education. Well, none of us got an education.
No, we didn't. We were given the wrong information, but information that would be useful for us to go and work for one of their friends.
Yep.
Terence Howard said a while back that multiplication is where it begins to go wrong. If multiply means to increase, then one multiplied by one can't be one. Otherwise, it's not been multiplied, and it gets worse from that point onwards. I think he's right. I think it's all wrong. The maths we're taught's wrong. The history we know is wrong, and probably the geography as well.
Well, yeah, he said something that I don't know, made me laugh out loud when I heard it. But obviously the banks are using this trick on us all the time. You know, if I asked you what's £1 times £1?
Yeah. Now I'm going to say one.
One, right? So a pound is 100 pennies, isn't it? So what's 100 pennies times 100 pennies?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's so obviously, they can trick us with just
Yeah.
by multiplying things by pennies rather than pounds, you
Yeah.
know.
They've done a brilliant job of it. You've got to hand it to them. As much as I despise them, what a number that they've pulled off here. Because
Well,
they've accessed infiltrated every single area, haven't they?
yeah.
And
Well,
completely.
I think one of the master strokes is education
Mm,
because none of us needed to be educated. None of us need to be taught anything. Yeah. The whole point is you've got access to every bit of information throughout the whole of time and space. It's yours. Children have that, right? And we educate them out of it, right?
yeah.
They literally, if you ask them so, you ask a child a deep question, they'll confidently just start talking to you about you know, how the world works or whatever. They'll tell you, yeah. But you say, oh, you don't know. Here's what really happened, and they go, oh, okay, you know. And
Yeah.
so it was a masterstroke to introduce this idea of schooling, yeah, to literally empty people's minds of the truth and refill
Mm,
it with bullshit, essentially.
mm, yeah. Yeah. They certainly tried, haven't they?
Yeah, the evidence that I've got for this idea is something that came about recently. I don't know if you come across the telepathy tapes.
No, no, I haven't.
The telepathy tapes are it's a podcast. You can go and find it, and it's about non-verbal autistic children. So,
Right.
so these children are regarded by society as vegetables, right? They can't be taught, they can't communicate. Obviously, when you talk to them, they can't understand you, so they're vegetables. Now that was the case until somebody decided, well, obviously they can't speak, they haven't got the fine motor skills to speak. But if I show them a board with letters on it, they can point out and make words. And sure enough, they could. And when they did, they realized these children could speak multiple languages. Right? And they knew advanced information about, physics, maths, geology,
Really?
you name it. They knew all this stuff because they have direct access to it.
I'm
Um,
making so many notes while you're talking, Dave. You're giving me so much homework to do. And these are the telepathy files or tapes.
telepathy tapes. And I think you go to telepathytapes.com and
Right.
or even on Spotify or something like that and find the podcast. Um, and it's amazing these children who obviously can't communicate with the outside world, they meet at this place in their minds. They're called the hill. And literally children from all over the world meet in this place, non-physical place. And they communicate with each other. And while I was researching, I found this Mexican scientist called Jacobo Grinberg. And he found that when somebody's brain hemispheres are in sync with each other, now you have access to these what we would call supernatural powers, these abilities, right? But normally our brains are just way out of sync.
Yeah.
But if you spend time with somebody whose brains are totally in sync, they start to bring you up into synchronization at the cost of a little of theirs. They go slightly out of sync, but they bring you up to their level. Okay. And that turned out to be true, because you'll find in one of the later podcasts in the telepathy tapes, one of the researchers that was spending a long time with these autistic children ended up going to the hill. So he was able to literally find himself at this hill with all these children, and was able to communicate with them. And then later on, when he met them, they, this one child basically repeated back his mother's maiden name, which he told him on the hill. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. In a past life, I was a tattoo artist for years, and I used to write for a magazine and do bits and pieces. And one day I tattooed a Spanish phrase on this person's forearm, and I didn't know what it meant. They brought it in, showed me it, and I did it. And while I'm doing it, I said, "What does this mean?" And they said, "Well, it's children of God." I said, "What's children of God mean to you?" They said, "Oh, in Spain, a child born with autism is referred to as one of the children of God."
Mm.
And I have Asperger's, so that for me, it just really put a smile on my face. And for the first time, I didn't see it as a negative, and actually as more as a positive. And that, and since then, I've thought, I wonder if when you have a high level of autism, whether or not actually you have a superpower, and perhaps telepathy is exactly what that superpower is.
Yeah, no, I think it's more than that. Right? I think, first of all, we've all got these abilities. We come with all these abilities intact, but we're educated out of it. We've got our sort of racial memory or whatever, generational memory that says, no, you haven't got them. No, you haven't got them. No, you haven't got them. Yeah. So our parents don't know they've got telepathy. Our grandparents didn't know, and so on and so on. Yeah. And that's within us. We've got that deep knowing that, no, that's not true. Okay. But we have all these abilities in us that we've never, ever used or exercised. But sometimes we use it without knowing it, and go, oh, what a coincidence,
Yeah.
Well, that was lucky, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I visualize this as dimensions. Okay. So this is my latest talk, that we live in the third dimension, right? And the left-hand hemisphere of our brain is what bloody thing. So the left-hand hemisphere of our brains is what roots us in the third dimension. Yeah, our senses go to that side of our brain, and it says what this present moment feels like, smells like, tastes like, whatever. The right brain is connected to the fourth dimension, right, where access to everything in the whole of time and space happens to be. Yeah. So whenever you imagine something, you're in the fourth dimension, right? Whenever you're in that non-physical space, that non-local space, that's the fourth dimension. Autistic children, I think, have problems with their left brain. So they they're not fixed in this dimension like we feel we are, right? Um, in one of the telepathy tapes, it actually says that one of the children say the reason that they keep hitting their heads on something and they keep hitting themselves is because they don't know they've got a body, and
Right.
they have to remind themselves that this is my body. Yeah. Um, so because they don't have that sense of being here in this dimension like we do. And so that's why
Yeah.
they can't relate to people very easily because right, but they are in the fourth dimension. So they've got access to the whole, they've got access to all these abilities, skills, everything. So that's why the savants who tend to be the ones who are verbal, so they've got a little bit going on in the left hand side of the brain, but they can also access all this stuff. So, there's Stephen Wiltshire who can just look out of an aeroplane at New York City, go home, and then draw exactly what he saw.
Mm,
Yeah. Or a child who can listen to Rachmaninoff and then just play it without,
mm,
yeah, because they've got access to these abilities. The non-verbal ones just can't communicate or
mm,
can't um, physically or actively operate in this dimension very easily. Right. So, but we've all got that access, and there's a school in Essex um, where they teach children how to see without their eyes. They got these mind folds on, these really good blindfolds, and so they can read books, they can play football, they can do all sorts of things without losing their eyes. And there's these schools all over the world now. So again, part of this awakening, I think, or maybe the crux of this awakening is remembering that we have all these abilities,
mm.
remembering that we're more than we think we are.
I love that. I think that's a nice place to end this. I've just realised how long we've been talking for. Where obviously you're on YouTube, you're everywhere, but where is the best place for people to if there is somebody out there who doesn't know where to find allegedly Dave, where would they go?
Allegedlydave.com.
That's what a brilliant bloody answer. And I guess from there you've got links to social medias.
Yeah, you'll be able to find me. I've got even
Yeah,
got my phone number on there as well. So
bloody
now
hell.
that I've found my phone again, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you did.
Yeah. But yeah, I my website is in a very sorry state at the moment, but when I get some time, I'll actually rebuild it. But yeah, you'll be able to find me.
Brilliant. Well, thank you, Dave. I really appreciate you giving up Sunday afternoon. I mean, this will go out next week, but right now it's Sunday afternoon. I appreciate you giving up your time, especially today, to talk
You're
to me.
absolutely welcome.
But thank you, and we'll have to do this again.
Okie dokie. All right.
Take care, and
Cheers.
uh, and I'll say goodbye properly in a moment. But bye for now, Dave. Thank you.
All right. Take care.